haven't heard, hello everyone, my name is Rachel. I'm an OBGYN resident and I also have a love for houseplants. So if either of those things excite you, feel free to subscribe down below. Give me a like to show me some love, and let's get into the video. So today I have something that's really exciting to share with you guys. I have been wanting a greenhouse for quite some time, and I live in a 650 square foot apartment, which really is not a lot of space. Technically it's a 1-bedroom, but it honestly feels like a studio at times, especially with all of the houseplants that I have going on. So I have wanted a greenhouse, and I know that the Ikea greenhouses have been all the rage. And if for some reason you've been living under a rock and you've never heard of an Ikea greenhouse, it's an Ikea cabinet that people have been purchasing and hacking into a greenhouse that is not only beautiful because it's glass and has this minimalistic aesthetic, but is also very functional. However, to put that greenhouse together, I have done quite a bit of research on it. You need about $500 to $600 getting all of the supplies, putting it together, making it beautiful. And while I definitely want one for myself, I think that is probably a goal for future me because I don't have $500 to $600 to spend right now with my resident salary. So what I've done is I spent about $35 on an Amazon greenhouse, and while it is not the classiest of greenhouses, it is very functional. I've had it for about 3 weeks now, and I'm super excited with the results that I've gotten. My plants that I've put in there have been thriving. So if you want to see how I received the greenhouse, how I put it together, and a quick update 3 weeks later on how my plants are doing, please keep on watching because I am super excited to show you. Alright y'all, so first things first is going to be finding a place to put said mini greenhouse. So I know that this greenhouse is small, but like a lot of you plant owners can relate, I've already filled a lot of my apartment with plants. So I don't have a lot of space to work with. That being said, I do have this tiny hallway that goes into my bedroom, and I have like a little bit of space right next to this brick wall here. It's right next to a south-facing window, which means it will get a lot of bright light, but it's not directly in front of it, so it's not going to be like bright, direct light all day. We'll see if I can fit it here. Let's get to building. I should have known that was gonna happen. Framing for this thing. Let's see if it's gonna fit in this little hallway. I'm totally going to accidentally knock over some plants trying to do this. All right. Oops. This is very tight. I don't know if this is a good idea. I'm like literally dragging this along. Oh, 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 oh! Amazing! Okay, that's where it's gonna go. I do feel like it is maybe a little bit of an awkward placement. It narrows my hallway down to my bedroom pretty significantly. So like this is greenhouse and this is the door to my bedroom. But it's okay. We are gonna try it here and just see if it gets super annoying, and if it does, I can always move it because I don't really have a different space to put this greenhouse right now. Not the cutest by any means, but I just put the plastic type stuff over the screen framing, and I think technically it's a greenhouse, guys. Struggles of having a small apartment. Well, I put it in the small hallway, and then I realized it would probably be too difficult for me to get in and out of the bedroom if I have a mini greenhouse in the way. So I put it next to my TV stand. We're gonna see how I like it in the living room. I didn't really want it to be in the living room in the first place because obviously this whole like vinyl situation ain't the cutest thing, but for space purposes, I think I'm just gonna try it out here and just see how I like it. And if it is truly an eyesore, we're gonna have to figure out a different kind of solution. I think I'm gonna use just the spare grow lights I have and just attach it to this top metal rod right here and just see how it does. Picked these up from the mailroom. I think these are zip ties. I basically ordered these off of Amazon because in a lot of the reviews they said that the shelves of this greenhouse can get unstable, and so a way around that is by using zip ties. So I prophylactically ordered these knowing that I probably was going to need them. So here are the zip ties. What I'm gonna do is zip tie the shelves together so they are not incredibly flimsy. This is more zip ties than I'm ever gonna need. If we open our greenhouse here, this shelf, it's not the most stable in the world. So we're just gonna zip tie the shelf to the framework and see if maybe that is gonna help a little bit more. So I put all the zip ties on the shelves to really secure the shelving onto the metal framework. The next gadget I'm gonna put in our greenhouse is some sort of humidifier. Obviously, the point of getting a greenhouse is to maintain the humidity level higher than it normally would be in my apartment. So I have a top fill humidifier. This one is from Levoit. I am going to put it in the greenhouse and see if it does the trick. Just so I know exactly what the humidity level is in the greenhouse, I'm just going to add this little bad boy. It is my Therm Pro. This is gonna go inside the greenhouse and tell me exactly what the humidity levels are right now. So you can tell that in my apartment right now it's 59% humidity, which is comfort. I'm hoping to keep this greenhouse at a level of about 80%. All right, guys, I think we're ready to style this thing. The fishtail Hoya, I don't know, hopefully this does well. Well, this is kind of funny. So this little jar is what I was doing before I got this greenhouse. This little seedling right here is a cross between Anthurium magnificum and Anthurium crystallinum. And I wanted to simulate greenhouse condition without really having to fill my humidifiers every 2 seconds. So I put this in a jar. It's a little tiny seedling that I had planted in leca, and I didn't have water reservoirs that were small enough, so the water reservoir for this guy is literally at the bottom of a Coke can. This little guy is gonna go inside my greenhouse. He's super cute. I think I've put everything together, so I'm going to give you a quick tour of what I've got going on in here. I have got my little baby fishtail Hoya. We'll see, hopefully she thrives in this. And I have a couple of philodendron melanochrysum props going on here, so I'm hoping they thrive in this sort of climate. I've got, again, my little sketch cross between Anthurium crystallinum and magnificum in here, my little soda bottle guy. Actually, the water reservoir is so small that she's not really sitting upright, but that'll have to do. In the middle shelf here, I have got a philodendron gloriosum. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any leaves, but this one right here looks like a new leaf that may be coming up, so I'm hoping that this increased humidity will do some magic. In the middle, we've got a cute little Hoya curtsii. She honestly was doing really well sitting right by my south-facing window, but I'm curious to know if increased humidity is going to make this Hoya give me some even more new growth, so I guess we'll see about that. This is my little Monstera Peru prop in leca. She's just one leaf wonder here, so I'm just gonna put her in this greenhouse and see what happens. And then below, my beautiful Anthurium crystallinum. I am a little bit worried that this plant is really far away from the grow light on the top shelf. I know that, well, I think I know that Anthuriums typically enjoy bright indirect light, so if I need to, I might add on a second grow light to this top tier, but I don't know, we'll try this out and see how it goes. As far as putting everything together, I think this was fairly easy. It took me about 20 minutes to put the greenhouse together. They didn't really give me any instructions. It was just one paper sheet with pictures, and all the parts were labeled A through C, and you just kind of stuck everything together. It was pretty self-explanatory, and I'm not someone who's really good at putting furniture pieces together, so would highly recommend. As far as additive things to buy, I think these little zip ties are certainly helpful to give the shelf a little bit more stability. As far as how the plants are gonna do in this greenhouse, I'll wait and give y'all an update in a few weeks. Hopefully these guys thrive. I had a lot of fun putting this greenhouse together. So since the last time we have seen each other, I have put extra props and stuff into this greenhouse, so I'm excited to show you guys what's in here. So starting from the top shelf, right here is my Therm Pro. This measures my humidity. Right now it's reading really low at 46% because I've opened the greenhouse cabinet, but usually I like to keep this guy between 80 to 90% humidity for all my tropical plants. This right here is a new prop that I'm doing. This is a Peperomia Hope that I'm trying to get to root in sphagnum moss, which I have actually never done before, so we'll see how well this works out. I actually gave the mother plant to a friend, so I've taken all the cuttings in hopes that I can root it into a new plant for myself. Right here is a Monstera Peru. This is also a new prop that I put in probably about maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. She's got a lot of wonky leaves, and that's because I cut all the wonky leaves off my mother plant, but I also didn't have the heart to throw it away. So I just put the extras into a jar in hopes that I can create a new plant from the cuttings. Right here is my Hoya polyneura. I'm actually really excited by how well she's doing. When I had her in my apartment, she really wasn't growing that much for me, and the new leaves that she put out were kind of misshapen. So you can see right here, it's a little bit blunted at the tip. But since I put her in the greenhouse, this set of leaves have been completely new, which you can tell is much larger than the leaves that she has put before it. And then you can already tell that in the last 3 weeks, she has put out a whole new set of baby leaves. So really in the last 3 weeks, like from this part on is all new growth, which I'm super excited about. In the back here, we have my philodendron melanochrysum props. These babies I am trying to root in leca, and while they haven't really put out any new growth yet, that is okay because it's really been only 3 weeks since I put this greenhouse up, and I am trying to be patient. So moving down onto the second shelf here, we have another prop right here. This is my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I put this guy in the greenhouse probably about a week ago, and you can tell by the white roots that she's pretty happy in here. Right here is my cross that I told you guys about before. She is a super little baby plant. I think the last time you saw her, she really only had these 2 leaves, and in the last 3 weeks she has put out this new baby, which I'm excited about because it's got that pretty veining. I'm hoping that I can grow her a lot larger. She is still in this really sketch soda bottle type business, so eventually I'll find a cuter jar to put her in, but she seems pretty happy in it right now. Over here we have my, what's this called? Hoya. It is escaping me right now. Hoya Eskimo? I think it's an Eskimo. I forget, but I've put her into the greenhouse, and she has also put out some new growth up the top. You can see like literally the tiniest baby leaves right there. And over here in the back corner, I think the last time you saw her, she was quite literally a 1-leaf wonder, and since I have put her into the greenhouse, she has put out this new baby leaf. So in the last 3 weeks, I think she's done a lot. She was also like a Monstera Peru prop. And over here on the bottom shelf, you have, oh my gosh, this is actually really exciting. So I had purchased this Philodendron gloriosum last year, and when I purchased her, she had the largest leaf, like probably the leaf was twice my head size, but I kept her in my apartment. I got really lazy with keeping the humidity up, and the leaves like literally all died off. In the last 3 weeks, she has put out this huge leaf when she has done nothing for me all year. So this was probably the most exciting thing about this greenhouse. And in the back right now, this is my Anthurium crystallinum. She is a new plant. She's probably just also acclimating to a new environment from whatever she was in pre-shipping. So she has not yet put out a new growth for me, but she's also not had any leaves die off. So I think that's probably a win. And over here you can see a little bit of my setup. That's my humidifier. It is a small Levoit humidifier. When I turn it on, I do keep it at the lowest setting because the humidity, once it's on, goes up pretty quickly, and I don't want it to be so wet in here. So I do keep it at the lowest humidity when it's on, and I just wait for the ThermPro to get to a humidity of 80 to 90%. Right here is my fan. When the humidity is on, I will turn the fan on to the lowest setting, and that is enough to keep the air circulation in here so that my poor plants don't suffocate. And you can tell, I think this fan has 3 different settings, but I always keep it on the lowest one. So yeah, all in all, I'm really excited about how this greenhouse turned out. I am kind of sad that I didn't do this a little bit sooner. Maybe I could have saved some plants that have died in the past. But I hope this helps you decide if you want one of these guys on your own. The investment, if you can call like 35 bucks an investment, was quite worth the purchase, I think. So I certainly would recommend this greenhouse. If you guys purchase this greenhouse, please let me know how your plants are doing in it. And maybe in the future, if I ever do get that Ikea greenhouse cabinet, I will let you know how these plants do. But for now, I think this is going to do really well in my space.